Every day you hear about domestic disputes, and sometimes it lands people in jail. And while we're often the ones to tell you the how in these types of stories, this next story focuses on the why, as well as a preventative measure. Now, earlier this week, a domestic dispute over credit cards put a man in jail. Rexburg police say Tracy Neri punched his girlfriend in the face, tried to strangle her, and threatened to kill her. Joining us now is Eyewitness News reporter Stephen Pope. And Stephen, how do you prevent big fights erupting over just little everyday things?
Well, families experiencing big issues like that need professional counseling, but even everyday challenges can turn into a fight without good communication skills. 36-year-old Tracy L. Neri has been charged with 3 felonies, including domestic battery with traumatic injury, attempted strangulation, and aggravated assault. Police say this stemmed from a credit card dispute.
Evidently didn't agree with some of the things or something, and it just erupted into violence.
Police say Neri punched his girlfriend in the face, tried to strangle her, and made verbal threats to use a weapon to kill her. Police did find a gun and ammunition in the home. But how do everyday challenges become heated disputes?
The biggest problem we see when we respond to domestic batteries or domestic violence is a lack of communication between the two parties. We found if they would sit down and discuss issues and that, these things can be worked out.
So if I had a problem I wanted to communicate with my wife, Sally, instead of attacking her character and throwing an accusation, instead I should express a feeling. For example, Sally, sometimes I feel flooded when you bring up all the mistakes I make in a week.
That must have made you feel like you didn't want to talk to me anymore.
People say, oh, communication is key. Well, what kind of communication is key? Is it that I communicate everything I hate about you, and I'm just having lots of communication, so that's key? No, there's really specific skills that do work and specific ones that don't work.
Dr. Gardner tells students in his marriage and family class to be empathetic.
Soft startup, the first 30 seconds of your conversation with your spouse predicts with 96% accuracy how that conversation is going to turn out. If you start up really harsh saying, you know, you really frustrate me and I think you're a jerk because of this, 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 and this, 96% chance that conversation is not going to come out with anything good.
Before, growing up, we just say exactly what you feel, but now we're taking approaches that are more softer, like the soft startup, and we bring like the I statements instead of the you statements.
Communicate much better than we would have if we hadn't have taken this class.
And it's a good thing BYU Idaho students are taking advantage of classes like that, because according to Captain Randy Lewis, his police force finds themselves responding more frequently to disputes between BYU Idaho students as well.